See if it kicks on. We will do the short intro today.
Pretty short.
Boy. Yeah, just a little bitty one. We'll wait for a few minutes, see if everybody shows up. But I've got some really, really interesting stuff. And we're going to, talk about the good old days and type stuff. But the total opposite of it. There's a major thing going on right now. I mean, it's scaring the crap out of a lot of people. Really scary stuff. But I've got a video queued up for what we were watching yesterday or Wednesday on Jeff's live about the sorghum.
It's part 2, right?
Yep. So you get to actually see after he gets it in the barrel, what he does with it. Really interesting stuff. But we got Dana B, Little Lone Prepper, Grape Jams, B Charming.
Hope y'all had a wonderful day.
Yeah, it's we get a little bit of snow out there. I was in Discord talking to some people and they were saying that they were getting snow, and I knew it was coming ahead of time, and we just had the snowplow come by just a little bit ago, so I know it's covering the roads now. But I was talking to what about thumbs up? Everybody's got thumbs up in chat. The thumbs up. Evidently, Gen Zs, that is the same thing as a middle finger. If you give somebody a thumbs up, you're flipping them off basically nowadays. And they're trying to get the thumbs up removed from chat or from, texting apps and all that stuff. They're actually trying to get rid of the thumbs up. And I'm like, how can a thumbs up, how can it be offensive? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, look at YouTube. I mean, if you like a video, you hit the thumbs up. But yeah, it's a evidently for the younger folks, the Gen Zs, there's videos out there now that people are saying, if you ever give me a thumbs up, we have problems. It's time to throw down and this and that. I'm like, wow.
I'll give them 2 thumbs up. I don't know. Sounds like somebody was really, really upset that they weren't getting any likes and any attention. So they said, let's just cancel everybody's likes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things.
I'm giving everybody the thumb up from now on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use emojis and stuff when I text somebody. I just text them what I need to tell them, and that's it if I do. Yeah, it's just so weird.
It's weird. Stuff that doesn't even matter, it becomes a whole debate.
Yeah. And you read some of the comments. Oh, there goes a snow truck plow again. You read some of the comments, and people are talking about how it ruins their day and everything, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Don't you have anything better to do than be upset over somebody giving you a thumbs up? It's an emoji. Even if it was a bad thing, that's the difference between, you know, back in my day, if somebody's, well, we didn't have text, but if somebody sent you a letter and drew a thumbs up or something, um, big deal. I
Yeah,
don't care. My day would still go the same way it would have. It wouldn't ruin my day or anything. That's
yeah.
that. We didn't
You
care.
have
It was, well, okay, that's your problem, you know.
these people are having emotional breakdowns over an emoji.
Yeah,
So obviously you're not centered or living something right. That should not cause you to be that upset,
yeah, and that's the thing. When they get
in
it,
my opinion.
that instead of um, calling the person up, you know, actually talking to them, uh, they'll sit there and complain about it all day. They'll tell their friends, "Oh, so and so, give me a thumbs up." Oh no, really? That's horrible. Uh, but that's Gen Z's now.
Man, let me see. What age range is Gen Z?
Well, I think there's another one. I forget what it was. After I think it's Gen Z plus or something like in that range. That's that's after the Z.
Uh that's what Alpha, correct?
Yeah. That's what it was.
Um yeah, Gen Z would be 1997 to 2013.
Yeah,
And
that's weird that we've been talking about Gen Z and then it's past that now. Like, oh boy, just imagine the next one.
you figure
Oh,
everybody born into Gen Z was had pretty much a device at disposal, you know.
yeah,
By that time, computers were more handy. Smartphones came out in '07. You know,
yeah. Just imagine the next group.
oh man,
Okay, well, I am going to play, and this is if you were here for Jeff's on Wednesday, or not here, but over on Jeff's, we played a video of this guy making sorghum. Um, it's basically molasses, um, and what he showed was grinding the cane down, and then the juice going down to a filtering system and whatnot into a 55-gallon uh, plastic drum. So I'm going to go ahead and add that here, and let me make it big. And we'll go ahead and play that. Um, what else? Let me take that off so it plays better.
Folks, it's Justro at Metcalf Mill.
Really?
this ain't the only one that gets that commercial.
Howdy, folks, it's Justro at Metcalf Mills on a beautiful day. This is part 2 of my sorghum video, so we're going to jump right back into the cooking part, and I'll show you that whole process. And like I said before, we'll take it all the way to the biscuit. I hope you enjoy it.
Now, he built this thing himself too, and it's just for this purpose.
Now looking down in this barrel here, I tilt these barrels up after I drain them and get the rest of the juice, but you can see that old white coating on the bottom of the barrel. That's what we don't want in our sorghum. So you got to be real careful not to get none of that and get as much of the juice out as you can.
Sticky.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Here comes his second 55-gallon drum.
It's got a good system.
Oh yeah.
I want you to see here in this barrel, you can see what's settled out, and that don't go into our final product. It stays in the bottom of this barrel.
Even the bee.
That old junk, chlorophyll, bitter enzymes, all that old nasty stuff stays in the barrel. That's after letting it settle.
Rinse it out and throw it in your compost.
This is sorghum. It's like a sugar cane.
I think.
Is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Aaron was laying down up there on the ramp. I told him to get his butt down here.
Oh. You gonna help us?
It's about what you need to do a batch that big.
Bear,
Oh yeah.
what do you think?
That pan's over half full, ain't it, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Probably close to 3/4. So I'm planning Nanny to be down here.
Hmm.
Planning Nanny to be down here.
I would.
You hear the kids in the background.
See what all that costs?
Yep.
Keep throwing that.
And for these big batches like this, because that's 110 gallons right there.
Oh no.
That's a big process of, because I think he reduces it by half or more than half.
Oh yeah. Once probably it renders down.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a little seal.
I mean, even at
Mm-hmm.
what was that, 2 55-gallon drums?
Yeah.
I mean, even if he gets 50% yield, I mean that's 50-something gallons of pure syrup.
Oh yeah. And you can't buy that in the store.
Stamping the ground real good.
No,
All
not
around the
pure like that.
furnace, so that no dust comes up while we're walking around here.
What's he wetting the ground for? For the fire?
So no dust gets stirred up.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought maybe he's afraid it's getting too hot. It was going to catch something on fire up there.
Yeah,
But
that makes
no,
sense about the dust. Yeah.
It does make sense though, because you don't want that dust kicking up in there.
Yeah, you done filtered out all that stuff. You don't want nothing else in there.
All right, folks, you can see here where the fire is. It's pushed the skimmings back here to the back. And I'll show you until
This
we
is
get
cool
skimmings
here.
off. We got these paddles and stick, and what we do is we just touch it down and lift up. See there? And see this? That gets all the skimmings off of the top of the juice without taking any of the juice off. Just like a magnet, see?
Yeah, definitely working.
Yeah, and that's the old ways. That's how they did it. And he's still using the same way. I mean, there's people that do it different. They'll sit out there with a big old pot and do it.
I mean, besides making his own metal container right there, I mean, that's just about as primitive as you can get.
So what we
Yeah.
kind of do is work from the back, and the heat will push the skimmings back to us.
And again, this I like 'cause the kids are sitting out there working with the dad. I mean,
You got to get it when it's there to get.
they learn this stuff from him, and just
It'll
like
go
he
back
did
in.
from his
Yeah,
kids,
hands on.
his father and the
Now,
grandfather.
just rub against the side of your pan because it'll get hot and burn up there, and it'll clean it off more. Just like a magnet.
And then even if you don't,
Sometimes
even
they
if the
fire a
kid don't
furnace with
grow up
big
and do
sticks
this
of wood. I
exact thing
like
in
to use
his
little
adulthood, he
wood.
learns something a
Not a
lot
whole
more
lot
than
of it.
making sorghum. Then you know.
Yeah.
When you get in your car, you just need to put your location in the trip planner.
Hmm.
It recommends where you need to stop.
Well, at least they're letting me skip them.
Folks, you can see right here after I throwed the wood to it, it's starting to boil. Starting to boil right there in the middle. That's what we want. We'll keep it boiling the whole time until up close to the end, and we'll start slacking off. See them old chunks of green? You want to get all of them out.
And he's got a little nozzle right there. I just noticed that where you can dump it, release it.
Yeah.
That was smart.
Now I've done the sugarcane bit, but I don't remember, the stuff on the top or anything. I remember skimming stuff off of it, but I don't remember how he did it or anything like that. And it was done in a kettle, a big old kettle. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, different soil types produce different syrups.
Yeah.
I don't know what it smells like. I bet it smells real sweet.
True Grit dabbled in this. They made their own. They didn't think they were going to come out with anything, and they ended up with quite a bit. Man, look at that stuff boiling now.
I wonder once processed how long something like this would keep up in a can.
Probably a good while. I don't know if it would kind of act like a honey or not.
When the boil starts dying down, it's time to throw a little more wood in the fire. Oh, yeah.
I wonder how long it's been since he started doing this, the time lapse. Couple hours.
I think he says in here somewhere. I can't remember. But it's an all day. You have to sit there and watch it and everything.
One thing I really like about the paddle method, you don't see nothing on there to skim right now. But if you check it with this paddle real good, see there? See that green stuff? You get all that out. You can't see that when you're using a skimming dipper. You don't never see that. You don't know it's there to get. That's what I like about these paddles. They're just like a magnet. They just pick up the skimmings and leave the juice.
Look how much that's went down already.
Yeah. At least a third.
Couldn't even see that on the surface.
Maybe half.
But the paddle got it. You can see here we went down in the pan a couple inches and it's getting a more brown color to it. If it stays nice and light, I'll be tickled to death. I've never growed sorghum in the ground where this is growed, but it does look like kind of clay, and you want clay or sandy loam to make nice brown golden looking syrup. So I'm hoping for a brown. We'll see how it turns out.
I mean, a few times I've seen it, that's the color it was, a dark brown consistency.
Yeah, up here you don't hear. If I asked anybody, where I get some, they'd look at me weird. I've had it where it was really almost black, and it was in a mason jar.
Yeah,
you just dripped it on. It was there on the table, and you put it on the biscuit. Oh man,
some of us is working, and some of us is taking it easy.
And then, like he said, the syrups depend on the soil. So you might make a batch, and I make a batch, and it'll taste totally different.
Yeah,
still be good, but taste different.
Yeah, just from the soil.
Only place that I could think of that would have it would probably be the Mennonite shops.
They do have the sugar cane.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference. There is
a
sugar
here
cane,
another
and
thing
then
you
there
want
is
to do
sorghum.
is right where the pan meets the sorghum, you'll get a little bit of the skimmings will stick right there and try to burn a little, and you want to keep that cleaned off. So what I do is just take my cleaning stick and just skim right along. Just make sure there ain't none stuck to the edge of the pan there, because what'll happen, it'll stick there and burn, and it will alter the taste of your sorghum. So I just scrape right along, and any that don't stick to the stick, you can get it. It'll be down in the juice, and you can get it with your skimming paddle. Boy, I tell you what, them sorghums is looking good in the sunshine. They're brown and pretty.
Well, yeah.
Man, they're gonna be good. Folks, we've got down here to pretty low in the pan. Still got a little bit of chlorophyll coming up. You can see it, but we got down pretty low in the pan, and I don't want to heat it a lot longer because of the danger of it scorching. So we're going to take them off now.
Ready?
Okay. Oh, what you got? Pick it up. Pick it up a little higher.
That'll make you squeak.
It's just like a heat damper.
What we just did.
Okay, elevated it, brought it up.
It was just smoother than I expected it to be.
Bless you, girl.
Look at that big old stainless steel bowl.
Man, that's what I was just thinking. You got it down to a science.
I get off.
Huh?
I got off.
What about that, girl? Be careful.
Okay.
Ready?
Let it flow.
Oh, look at that.
Ow, man, I almost got it.
Look at that brown stuff.
That is the color it needs to be right there. Wow.
And you can tell
Right,
his
Char.
daughter's done that a few times. Already knows what color it's supposed to be, and
Oh, no, hold it on.
Yeah.
Maybe. It looks like sand coming out.
Does not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can't learn this anywhere. It just has to be taught to you.
It's gonna hold
yeah.
Can we carry it all is the next question.
I can smell it.
Oh, I bet you it smells good.
It's like honeysuckle. You walking through and smell honeysuckle. You just know
Yeah.
it.
We're scraping the pan down.
Oh, I bet you that tastes good too.
It's like
You get a lot of foam at the end
it's like
usually.
toffee or something.
Yeah.
Like
You keep it
caramel.
separate. It's good to eat
Natural
on
caramel.
certain things. I like it on winter squashes.
Ooh.
Just try to rake down as much of it as you can. Hard for me to hold this phone and show you what I'm raking at the same time.
Yeah. Get as much as you can and make the cleanup a lot easier.
Yeah.
About enough. What do we got? About one more pot left.
Yeah. He
I
sells
don't
the
know how thick
seeds.
this is going to end up being. It's not as thick as I like it, but that certain amount of cane we had out of that
one of
volunteer
his videos,
patch.
he has a bunch of the
And what was
seeds.
that trailer load was supposed to, cut it off. Trailer load was supposed to yield 100 gallon, but it didn't. It was low on juice. I talked to some other people, said they had the same thing happen.
Might need to look into
Well,
that.
it's
Some of
good.
the
I'm doing
patches
it
that I've seen, they might not be bamboo. They might be that type of stuff right there.
That is some pretty color
Yeah,
stuff,
could
too.
be.
It looks like the sand. That's too sweet for me, Pops.
Too sweet for you, Charlotte? I don't think so.
It is too sweet for me.
That's what I was hoping it'd work out.
Oh yeah, you talking about just pure natural sugar?
It's kind of like honey.
I wonder if you could dehydrate some of it, powder it down, and like use it as like a sugar substitute.
I wouldn't doubt it.
See the changes.
Probably could. Especially that thick
All right.
stuff there.
Yeah.
And what we like to do, folks, normally is take some apples and cut up pieces of apple and sop all that sweet stuff up and have candied apples out of this pan before we wash it. Something that always amazes me is you'd think this would be a sticky mess to clean up. Spray in there with the hose and just wash around. That stuff will come right off. It's not like old sticky sugar. It'll just come right off when you're washing it.
That's my question.
Oh, I bet you freeze dried that stuff would taste really good.
Yeah.
And this batch that he's doing right here is all volunteers. He didn't plan any of it. It was all grown up from the previous year that in a field that he had done
Not
the
the
previous
darkest
year.
syrup I've ever seen and not the lightest syrup, but got real good flavor and good color.
There's the biscuit.
Yeah, you could put that stuff in pretty much anything you wanted to
Yeah.
bake with it.
That biscuit was so good, you'll have to take my word for it. Hit that like button if you will. Subscribe if you ain't already. Tell your friends about us. This is Justro at Metcalf Meals. I look forward to seeing you real soon.
This is a metabolism killer. This is a metabolism.
Okay, we don't need to know about that.
Metabolisms. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And if you guys want to check out his channel, because it is a very good channel, just for what he does. It's the old ways, and like I was talking about yesterday, the stuff he does, like for the old fashioned mills that use the old stone to grind up corn and wheat and stuff.
Yeah.
He's the only one that does that in his area. And he just got one from Indiana. They drove it down to him so he could fix it. And I don't know what it's called. Whatever they do to, he sits there with a hammer to get it all flush, and he cuts the little grooves in it to where all the grain goes through it and stuff. And the
It's
fact
like
that
a grist mill.
yeah, and like I said, the one they drove all the way from Indiana to drop it off. So more than likely, there's probably not many left that actually knows how to do that stuff.
Probably not.
And the mill that he was showing, he says, there's a little shaker, it's gone. So he's never seen one. So he has to build one, never seen it before, of how they would have done it 150 years ago. So he has to, reinvent one of them.
Well,
because
just limited.
The part's not there no more. It's all decayed and whatnot.
Little bit I've seen of his videos and stuff. If anybody can figure it out, that's the guy that's gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah. He'll go to another somebody else that has one of those mills, and saying this is for that and this, and he'll explain everything about the mill to the person, where it was made and what company. Oh, they sold the company back then, and when they sold it, they did this. It's like he's got all that knowledge in his head. Real interesting stuff.
That's definitely the good old days when at one time pretty much every grown man was doing that type of stuff to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well, there was no, take it down to the shop thing, or nowadays you just buy a new one.
Shoot, no.
Now I've got a very, very interesting thing here. This week they have come out with a new AI. Now there's a thing called Chat AI, to where you ask it a question and it'll say, I want a story about chipmunks. It'll write a book about a chipmunk and whatever. It has been taken a lot further than that now. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me go ahead and cut that off. Now, what I'm going to show you is they type in what they want, a movie clip or a show or whatever.
Any scenario.
the AI builds it and puts it into film. It makes a actual video of, there's no actors, there's no stage or anything. I'm going to show you some of these clips that they have already made. Let me go ahead and make it bigger. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning of it. Now, again, this is AI. AI made this video. These people are not real. This place is not real. You can see the reflections off the water and everything. This has got a lot of people freaked out, including movie companies.
You think this was modern day Japan somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
Look at her face.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell this is not a person? This
Even
is
down to the neck.
Yep. The hairs and everything.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Well, let's move on to the next one here.
Coming soon. And I did read an article some time back that they said that there was this one particular company and they were shooting for 2027 or something like that to bring those back.
You see this one here. This is not a real person. This is a made up person.
You'd think this is the new Ridley Scott sci-fi. Coming to a theater near you this summer. Spaceship.
This is not an actual place. This is all built in an AI computer, rendered and put into a video.
Man, I'd like to be on that little cove when it's nice and sunny there.
Oh yeah. You even got a little beach over there on the side.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Oh, look at this thing.
Now this you would think would be an AI thing, but the other ones, I mean, look at the candle. Watch the candle melt. Let's go to the ocean. This kind of looks like AI because yeah. But the fact that it's actually AI actually made this is crazy.
Yeah, well, AI found Nemo.
Now look at this bird.
What is that?
It's not a real bird.
Even though this image is not real, is that a real bird in real life or no?
I don't believe so. I think it's its own species of bird.
It's like a head peacock. Pigeon peacock or something. I don't know.
Yeah. This isn't a cup of coffee.
Must be pirate coffee.
Yeah,
How it could just bounce around. Like if it was the color of the ocean, you would think it was the ocean.
Yeah. This guy's up on a cloud reading.
I wonder what fake book he's reading. AI for Dummies.
Yeah. And this is the website right here. It's ran by Open AI. And again, you can see what it is right there. It's scary what they can do with it now.
Yeah, like you said, you could just type in any scenario. It could write a book, make a
Yep.
movie, make a clip, write an essay.
You could imitate. You could do it. Say, I want to make Trump say something that he shouldn't say. You can kind of fill in the blanks with that, and then it would be all over the internet.
It's almost
How
like a
would you
deep.
how would you know it wasn't real? Because like on that first clip, you could see the blemishes in that girl's face. You can see the little hairs,
Yeah.
reflection from her glasses, and it's what amazes me. This somebody just typed a woman walking through Japan or a village or whatever, and it created that person and all the people there, the ground, everything.
Mm.
That's what we got. That's what we got to look forward to in the future.
That's
Or
something else.
if that's here now, just imagine um, because when you see things like this that just come out, um, it's already been tested
Oh
and
shoot, yeah.
they've released videos and saying, well, let's see if we can fool people.
No
And
doubt.
they've done videos and stuff and didn't say anything about it and see if anybody says, oh, that's a fake video or anything.
These people are fly by night, but it didn't happen overnight.
um, I said Biden did something great. He had cut down obesity in people. It's because nobody can afford to eat, and I got banned. I thought I was giving him a compliment, you know. Evidently, they didn't like the compliment. Somebody didn't.
That's definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. We've seen so many movies on stuff like that.
Oh yeah. They got um some Jerry Lee was saying the AI in video games. That's been here for a while. They've actually have AI in video games. Anytime there's multiple decisions to be made and there's like ramifications of your actions in the game, that's AI. So I think Half-Life was one of the first ones that had programmed AI for it, where they would, you know, there were like 50 different decisions that you could make. If you made one decision and then you went to another route, then the AI would change the route that you went.
Yeah.
Oh.
In enough time, it could predict your outcome before you predict it.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. There are there have been video games that are being watched by big agencies. I'll put it that way. That if somebody goes in there and they beat the game, that's unbeatable, then they get a knock on the door. Come work for us, type of thing. And that's the volunteer way. There, oh, what was that movie with Bruce Willis? The little boy that was autistic, and
Sixth Sense.
no, not that one. The boy was autistic, and he liked to do puzzles and these word puzzles, and he figured this one out and sent it in. And this was before,
He
big
wasn't
internet
supposed to
stuff.
figure it out, basically.
Yeah, it was unsolvable, and it was a way to get into high end security and stuff. And that's how they decided to test it. They put it out as a puzzle, and nobody could figure it out. That was a good security system. But this little boy, figured out no time flat, and they ended up sending people to take him out, and they ended up deleting his family, and Bruce Willis came by and helped him out. I think that's it. Mercury Rising. I think that might be it. But it was a real good movie. And the little boy, because he's autistic, you couldn't touch him. He's trying to save his life and stuff because people are trying to delete him because he knows the code to break into major security or something like that.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It is Mercury Rising. Yeah, that was a pretty
Okay.
good movie.
Yeah.
The kid was the same, one of the kids that played in the Freddy Krueger movies too.
Oh,
Think that,
the baby.
yeah, the one that was solving the puzzles.
Yeah. Yeah, and the same thing goes from that. Nowadays it's video games. There'll be things in video games that are produced by, people
Like an
high up.
Easter egg.
Yeah, people high up in government and those agencies and stuff that are things that's supposed to be impossible to figure out, and code breaking and all that stuff. And it's somebody will do it. Then all of a sudden they disappear, or they work for the government somehow.
Hey, I used to like doing crosswords and Sudoku.
Yeah, there's some of them puzzles. It's impossible puzzles and stuff. You get this keychain or something that you have to finagle it and get it out and stuff. It's supposed to be impossible. There's sometimes where you just spin it like that, and the little marbles go into the ends or something. Those are the cool ones. But let me go ahead and show you guys this video of him. Let me get it ready. This was what him doing. Yeah. The meal thing. Let me find it.
For every single meal of their life. Good, real food is simple.
I like his intros. Look at all them fish.
Oh, that's fish. I didn't know what that was, man. Oh, I thought it was like wood at first. Man.
There we go.
Just had a customer drop this 20-inch Meadows meal off for a stone dressing and a little bit of service.
That's what it is.
Got to get her done, get her back out the door. You can hang with me.
Whew. Eddie charged a pretty penny for that.
Oh yeah, he's the only one that does it. Oh yeah, yeah. All chat, every chat ever is all monitored. They got computers that check everybody's text messages to whatever. It's all being monitored.
So
they got
all monitors.
in here.
Rooms
Not
of
roller
computers
bearing,
that
ball bearing,
keep
thrust
track of all
bearing
that.
was wore out. You can see it right here. The guts come out of it. So I slipped one in here to use to get this thing dressed. He's got one on order. I'll take mine out, send it back. They'll put their new one in when they get it, and they'll be ready to rock and roll. But I'm gonna put this bearing cap back on here. And
that one's not too old. It's probably
that ball bearing with oil, so it'll
probably
be nice and
probably
slick.
70, 80 years old.
Tighten this back up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break this thing apart. We'll see what the rocks look like.
It's hard to say. I don't know much about that type of machinery, but yeah.
I've been learning a lot just by watching his videos.
To work on stuff like that, you can pretty much work on anything.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, because it's not very well taught nowhere. You can't go to a college and learn how to do this stuff. There's
No.
nobody that knows it.
You just have to been around it. You've been around it.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. You talk about slick now. Ain't no telling how many tons of corn has went through this mill since I dressed these stones last. I don't know if you'll be able to see how glossy.
She gonna put new bevels in it.
Right here.
Now he's got to flatten it down and take off all that glassiness.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's real glassy.
Because they have to be able to touch each other just enough to where it grinds up that
you could say
that grain and stuff.
Oh yeah, I see it.
We'll put it back in business.
For over 25 years, Lovesac has been rewriting the rules of comfort.
And I love how he does this.
Stone dressing videos yet. The way that works, I use just red food coloring. I paint that red food color on these stones, like that.
Once that's gone, then he knows he's gone deep enough.
Yeah. And
what that
when it
does,
rubs, you'll be able to tell where it's
reveals to
uneven.
me- well, I
Yep.
painted on all the
Makes sense.
fans, the flat part of the stone. And when I put this meal, I let it dry. And when I put this meal back together, I will run it and let the stones gently touch.
Oh,
And
that's
that
good.
will reveal to me
That
the
is
high
nice of her, son.
spots. And that's how I know where to work on and take the stone down to make it true. So I'll get them mated up,
Yeah.
trued up with
I
each
don't know how heavy
other.
those stones are a piece.
And then
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
after that,
At least 50 or 60 pounds a piece, maybe
And-
more.
sometimes you have to take them apart 3 or 4 or
These
5
come in
times.
chunks when he makes these.
Sometimes more than that.
Imagine trimming all that to be true
Paint
like
it, let
that.
it dry, put it together, run it, take it apart, dress the high
That's
spots,
crazy.
paint it, let it dry, put it back together, run it. You keep doing that until you get the stones true. Then you can put it back together.
Oh, yes,
Then
it's
you can
time
dress,
consuming.
put the finished dress on there, put
Who?
it back together, and grind some
How would
fine
you
cornmeal.
say all the power's gone and everything?
That's the process.
How would you make flour and stuff?
Yeah. You're right. Even if you could grow a bunch of wheat and corn, what are you going to do with it then?
Yeah, I mean, you could sit there and get lucky enough to find a rock, a granite rock that you could carve out a little bit and grind it by hand. But
we'll give it all night to dry. Come back in the morning and get started dressing.
Dude.
It's got dark outside. And these 2 little girls that's probably missing me about now. I'm gonna get on up to the house and check on them. I'll see yous in the morning.
See yous in the morning.
Now I got to put it back together. We'll run it and see what the contact ratio is. I noticed that the center bearing was loose. It had some slack in it. So I'm going to have to pull that off, take the shims off, shave just a tiny amount off of the bearing shims, put it back together, and that'll tighten up the bearing on the shaft.
All by hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, them heavy stones right there, and they can't be they can't be thin because they break too easy, so they have to be a bit thicker. All that to put them back together, run it for a couple minutes to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Back apart again.
very little contact at all. So this is going to take quite a bit to get trued up.
Yeah, just tap, 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 tap. Got to take that glossiness off of them. Pretty much make it gritty again. And redo it all again and put it back in there again.
Well, they're pretty much dry, ready to go back together and run it again. The process you just seen, I've had to do that as much as 10 or 12 times, that whole process that you just watched, depending on how bad the stones were out. It just depends. Every meal's different. Sometimes it's, 3, 4, or 5 times. I don't think I've ever done one that was less than 3 or 4, but it's a big deal when they're really out of tram, you could say. And it takes a while to get them trued up, but I'll spare y'all seeing this process over and over again. And I'll let you know how many times I wound up having to do this process on this particular grist mill.
Crazy. So it could be 15 or 20 times.
Yeah, and just the process of painting it.
Do it right, you get a little more
It takes
contact
24 hours to dry.
on the stones. Yep. You have to go over, peck all the high spots down, very, very minimal. Paint it, put it back together again. Here we go. On this mill, I had to go through the process 5 times before I could get the stones true.
Well, at least 5 days, at least.
Wow.
How he's doing this, but holding the camera, the bucket, and the thing at top, I don't know.
Wow.
Normally there'd be a nozzle on that part to where it goes straight in.
I wonder if you can adjust it to the consistency you want it. I imagine you probably could.
Yeah, he'll that adjustment on the end, he'll twist it to move that stone closer.
Okay.
And that's the corn mill right there.
Yeah.
Corn, buddy. What we're looking for is consistency. It's not the fineness so much as it is consistency, because grinding cornmeal and grits, you don't want to grind fine like this. The reason I do it is I can tell if it's consistent and there's no big flakes coming through. That means our stones are true.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that pretty much it for that one there. He just packages it up and loads it back up there again.
So when before you had your motors and stuff like that, a lot of times you would see people that did stuff like that in their water. They would use the water to help generate and turn into stones.
Yep. I've seen the old fashioned, the 2 stones, and you just fed it through the top, and a horse walked around in a circle.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how they ground up all their stuff. Well, the red was just there to show where the high spots and stuff were. That's the only purpose of that.
Yeah.
He'll run it quite a bit to get that red out of there so that it doesn't show up in other guys' grits or whatever, or cornmeal. That's like nowadays we have these fancy things to sharpen our tools and knives. If we don't have that, how many people still know how to use a whetstone, or the old fashioned grinding wheels that you would sharpen shovels and hoes and sickles and things like that. I remember watching my grandpa just sit there and kick his feet up and down, getting that thing going, and back and forth till he sharpened whatever tool he was working on.
Oh yeah, I have to sharpen my shovels from time to time.
Yeah, now we just get a grinder, and most of them are cordless now. They're battery operated.
Yeah, that is one good thing. Well, power goes out, it won't be a good thing regardless, but for now, it's a good thing.
How many people have files? That's a rare thing nowadays, because I've got a bunch of old tools, and that's the only reason I still have some. I mean, there are the rat tail.
Okay, yeah, metal files, yeah.
Yeah, there are the rat tails,
definitely.
because most everybody that has a chainsaw has one of those files. And they even have gadgets for that you hook onto the bar, and it automatically is at the right angle.
I got a couple of them, the flat ones, the round ones, and the ones that's like triangle shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are handy.
But like me and Jeff was talking about the grandmothers. They would teach the daughter would teach their daughter, and whatnot. Not now, all that knowledge is gone. If it didn't get taught from the kids that are around now, those people are gone. They're no more. And of course, there's some books that you can get and stuff, but there's a difference between reading in a book and then having somebody teach you how to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, and that's why I've been liking. I've been, the True Grit family there.
Yeah,
whenever they do anything, their kids are out there learning. And there was a subject that he was talking about. His son was making something out of some scrap wood and stuff, and he says, "I'm not going to stop him from doing that. That's how you learn stuff." And he was out there with the drill and putting screws in the boards and stuff like that. And so often you go into cities and stuff, there's no learning. It's they sit there in front of a TV or a computer to learn stuff, and there's no hands-on type things.
Yeah.
And any time that they're out there working with the animals and stuff, their kids are out there watching it or doing it with them. And you can say the same with grape jams and the vineyard chicks.
Definitely.
The same thing. It's they're learning from their parents, and that's what it should be. All that knowledge that you learned from your father and mother or whatever gets passed down, and then
We'll
you
never
say,
forget
"Oh,
it.
where did you learn this from?" And I learned it from my dad. "Oh, where did he learn it from?" His dad, and your grandfather, and your great. You know, it's a shame we're losing all that. Now, what happens 2 generations down from now? We're already talking about the alpha people now. What happens if the shift happens that knocks the power out or whatever, and we have to start learning from scratch again? The Gen Zs and the alphas, they don't know any of this stuff. If they need to know something, hey Google, how do I do this? Or hey YouTube, how do I do that? Or Alexa or whatever. And they won't have that. What are they going to do?
Right. Scary to think about, but we see it happening in real time.
Yeah. And anytime you go to the store now, you'll hear a kid screaming and hollering, "Hey, I want this," or something like that. And they hand them a cell phone or a tablet, and they shut up. It's soon as and they know, as soon as they start screaming, they're going to get what they want, which is that screen time. Now, my kids, they had the kids' computer where they got to go play games, or if they had to do schoolwork on it, they could do. But they had to have good grades, and they had to do chores. They had to do stuff. If they didn't do that stuff, they didn't get to go on there. Or if they were bad, they got punished. Nowadays, if they get punished, they turn you in.
I think
that's a sad part. I was raised, if I did something bad, the punishment was you got your tail smacked, and you learned from that. And it wasn't like it was a something that happened like every day, unless the kid was really bad. But once or twice, and you learn not to do something. Nowadays, like I said, you go to the store. If my kids were screaming and hollering, I would look at them, and that would be done. They oh nope, we don't do that. Nowadays, they just give them what they want. You see the kids eating the food in the store, and because that gets them to shut up.
Yeah, it's definitely a different world. I mean, I've seen babies or children that really couldn't even say full sentences, but you hand them a device and they could go to everything they wanted to view, skip it, pause it, and stuff like that. Technology, we can use it for the right way, interacting, having these conversations, learning how to grow, be better people, fellowshipping. But I think when you give something like that to a child at a young age, it does something to them mentally. It alters their brain like you know, like when people get on social media and stuff, it gives you like a dopamine rush.
Yeah.
I think it sets children's brains up at an early age to get fixated and relying on that more often now. Because I mean, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, nobody had laptops or with laptops, but you know, not tablets or cell phones in every hand.
Yeah. Monopoly.
Yeah,
Just like B. Charman saying, I mean, there's in reading a book. Oh man, a lot of and I wasn't a reader. I was more. I had to go out and do stuff, but
yeah,
uh, my kids actually, we went to the library and they checked out books. Of course, my one son, he only got the books with pictures, but majority of them would check out books and they would read them and everything. We would play. There's certain times of the the week where we would play board games. Nowadays, it's I mean I see them the board games and they made them so it's it doesn't take 2-3 hours to play. It's like 15 minutes and the game's over.
yeah. That's the good old days.
Yep. Hey, 101.
Evening.
How's it going?
Oh, just another day.
Another day.
What's up, 101?
I'm counting down the days until this new job. See how it goes. Part of me is excited for it, and part of me ain't. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I always won Monopoly. Boardwalk and those Park Avenue, those were mine. And I would always get the top and the railroads. the red, I think it was a yellow. Yeah, the red and yellow at the top. The railroads and the two blue ones. That's all I wanted.
They got of course, Monopoly, but they've got city versions of Monopoly they put out for different cities. I got a Augusta-opoly version. Thought that was pretty cool.
Augusta, Georgia?
I live in Augusta, Georgia. So when that was at the Wally World and they had a Augusta-opoly version.
Everybody always said I cheated too, but no, those are the first ones I always got. Everybody always passed them up, and I was like, I'm gonna snag them.
You do realize that you are able to win Monopoly by buying all the cheaper properties too.
Oh yeah, but I did the same thing every time, and I always won. All it takes is you get some motels on them, some of those properties, and your money's gone. The first ones, I think they were purple. Baltic, the real cheap ones. Those were good ones too, because everybody would always land on those first ones. And when they got that $200, that was always mine. I get the $200, and then whoops, you landed on somebody's property and it was gone.
Did y'all ever play the card games like Uno or Phase 10?
Yeah.
Uno, but what's this other one?
Phase 10 is where you got to go through 10 different phases to win. Like your first stage, I think, is you got to get a pair of Your second stage is you got to get 3 of a kind. It's in stages, and you've got to get it before You've got to get it before the round ends. If you don't get, it sounds complex, but it's really a pretty simple game. It's pretty fun.
I used to like to play spades.
Spades, oh yeah. I hadn't played a good game of spades in forever.
Oh, I know. And I can't remember. I'd probably remember, but euchre. I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
Oh, that's a Michigan game if I ever heard one.
I was gonna say it's probably a northern type game.
It is.
I don't know if I've heard of it.
It's kind of like Pinochle, where you'd like remove certain cards from a deck. It's
Great hippo.
It's a combination of Pinochle and like
Twister. Yeah, Twister used to be fun.
Twister. Yeah, I have played Twister a few times, I will admit.
I mean, if we're talking old board games, I'll go downstairs and I'll pull out my dad's old games. I mean, you saw that I had the old 1976 Monopoly board.
Yeah. Texas Hold'em. Yeah, that used to be popular.
My granddaddy and his buddies, they'd get together like every Wednesday, man. They knew every poker game there was. Games I ain't never even heard of, they was playing.
7-card Mexican split.
Yeah, all different. Yeah,
it's another version of
poker. 7 stud, 7-card sunset flop. All kind of weird names they're playing. Didn't really learn much about playing cards, but man, I heard some pretty cool stories though.
As long as it ain't naked. It depends who you're playing with.
Yeah.
Oh, spoons. Yeah.
Spoons. I don't know if I remember spoons. My grandma, she always had a stack of games. One of them was Operation, but it didn't work. Somebody done broke it by the time I came along.
Oh man, I remember the first time playing that.
I've got a good video here if y'all find this shit funny. This is so totally me.
$700.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah.
I had to have it. It's $1,480.
Dude's got a bat signal.
It's a flashlight.
It's $1,000,000 lumens.
I am pregnant, and you're gonna spend $700 on a flashlight.
I had to have it.
I had to have it.
People are assholes. Just make sure.
Oh my god.
I had to have it.
It's 1,000,000 lumens. I'm pregnant.
TSA certified flashlight.
I had to have it.
There was one like that with the guy in the swimming pool. He was actually making the water boil.
I was gonna play that on my stream, but I figured here would be nice.
What would have to go for the bacon grease?
Oh yeah. Shoot yeah.
Rubens says you spent how much on a knife? What? I'm lost.
Yeah, there's some expensive knives now.
Now? They've always been expensive. Shit.
No, I mean you get a good homemade knife was better than anything you'd get in
I got a
That's worth.
Benchmade Nimravis. That was $350. I don't use that one, by the way. That's just a sit on the dresser kind of thing.
Shit, $300. I'd be using it to spread butter on my toast. Yeah, they definitely come in handy though.
Let me see what her knife is now.
I was thinking today. I was like, man, I got to sharpen an old knife.
I don't know what that is, and we changed this to money.
What?
You're sharp enough for the moment.
I'm trying to figure out how much 166 of this in Austrian money this is.
Austria.
It's on sale. Let me
I
search.
think Austria is on the ruble.
160 euros.
Oh.
Which is that $1,000? Or no, it's 100.7, I think.
How much is it?
So survival
166.
So it's probably about
You said euros?
yeah. So
166 United States dollars, that's equal to 178 US dollars. So we got about 18 bucks on them. So that's about a 11% difference.
Yeah.
So yeah. You're welcome.
It's a big difference.
Just come to me for your local exchange rate.
Oh
boy.
The Austrians, huh?
A switchblade now. Can't have a switchblade.
You can, but it's got to be spring assisted, not automatic.
Yeah. Well,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
Trust me, I
remember some places that didn't allow, you couldn't have butterfly knives.
I don't think those are legal here. I don't know. I mean, it's not like you can't buy them. I mean, shit, get them anywhere.
Yeah, you can have them. It's just you can't carry them around.
I've carried my damn it, what is it? The Gerber strong arm, the fixed blade, looked like a Rambo knife, you know.
Yeah.
I've carried that on my back, like across my back.
Yeah, I've got
playing around.
Well,
you got to remember, I had the whole cap thing going on, you know. Mags
the
on
one
one side.
Trying to see if it's up there. I can't see it. The blade is like 13 inches long, and I know that's not legal.
Oh, that's a sword.
Well,
a machete. A machete.
This one too.
A watermelon slicer.
If I can pick it up.
Ruben says, I have the strong arm. The strong arm, in my opinion, is like one of the best knives I've owned, period. Damn.
And that thing is sharp.
There's one that is it Gerber that makes it? It's a straight bladed one like that, but it's a flip open. I'm thinking of getting it. It's like 40 bucks these days.
Was never, thrilled about Gerber knives.
Well, no, they're not. They're not what they used to be.
No, I've batoned on those and two hits and they hit.
There's one that Cold Steel makes, and it's let me see which one it is here.
I think I already deleted
It's the
it.
drop forged ones that are. It's just a solid chunk of steel, no handle to it, really. Yeah, the drop forged hunter. I looked at getting that one.
Let me see if
I'm kind of looking at getting something to, carry, because I can't carry the gun at work, but I can. Trust me, I can find an excuse for a knife.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You should always carry a knife with you anyway.
Well, I mean, I have my Boy Scout one, and I carried my karambit for some time to cut open boxes, but I don't know. I don't like the SOG gambit. Or karambit. They have a funny name for the SOG version of it. Either way.
Always have a knife and a pen.
Unless you're John Wick, at which point you just need the pencil.
Exactly.
I saw this man. He killed three people with a fucking pencil. I need to rewatch those movies.
Seen part 4 yet?
No, I have not. I hear it's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Saw a video last night that Keanu does it like 95% of his own stunts still.
Oh yeah. The instructors that the SWAT guys said that he could easily be on a SWAT team.
That's impressive.
He knows everything because they do the same drills that SWAT does. And they say
trains with these guys top flight.
His time is better than some of the people on their SWAT team.
Seems like a pretty average guy.
Yep.
I will say this. I do find him to be a very good person from what I know about him.
Yeah.
Because he still seems like he's down to earth for being an actor and in Hollywood and being as famous as he is.
Well, he actually takes his mother to some of these get-together things, the Hollywood things.
Right.
And treats her the way you're supposed to treat your mom, that type of thing.
My point is, he could very easily go down the dark Hollywood path, but he doesn't.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Bill and Ted's Journeys came out, and somebody would have told you Bushcraft in 2024, Keanu Reeves will be one of the biggest action stars. You'd be like, you're nuts. He started more in that comedic role. Yeah.
As long as they came to me and I didn't have to run after them.
Yeah.
I'll wait here for them to come. You to draw them to me.
You want your opponent to come to you.
Yep.
Get over here.
I cannot find that dang email now. I have it's kind of local. It's probably about 40 miles from here. A guy that makes his own knives, and he can't keep up. He makes really, really good knives.
The art of knife making is a lost thing. That and leather works too.
The way because right now they have cutouts that you can just order. It's the good steel and everything. You can just order the cutouts. For somebody that actually makes knives out of bumpers or leaf springs or something, to where they pound that thing out to the shape that they want, and those are the good knife makers.
Right.
Not
Might be
saying
weird, but I
anything
like the
bad
smell
about.
of a leather chop.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about the ones that use the templates and stuff that's already cut out knives, because basically all they do is get the edge they want, heat it up, and what you call it when they dip it in oil.
Tempering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between oil and water.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I'm saying for tempering purposes.
Oh yeah. I don't know the specifics, but it would make sense.
Well, being that oil is thicker than water, there's a lot more molecules to suck
Quench
the
it.
heat out.
Yeah.
And that oil has a, well, not that you can catch water on fire unless it reaches like 200 and something degrees, but that's called flash boiling. But it's a lot safer to do the oil, let me put it that way.
Yeah. Got a higher burn rate.
Right. I mean, obviously, when you pull it out of there, it's going to light
Oh.
itself on fire, but there's a difference between that and it all has to do with, you ever see when something real hot goes into water, it has that little layer of air around it? I forget what it's called. Leidenfrost effect? Yeah. And it, the water doesn't actually touch the part where the oil will.
Yeah, there's more chance of a failing. A lot of times they'll temper the the blade part of the knife,
The edge.
the edge, yeah.
Well,
and
usually,
then they'll use oil for the rest of it.
Usually you would coat that with clay. What you do is you coat the spine, the back of the knife, with clay. That keeps it softer. It still hardens it, but it's softer than the edge when you cool it. Thus, not when the blade becomes under stress, it's less likely to break because the spine will give rather than shatter and such. Just look at samurai sword making; you'll find it. Be Charming says, "How would we know the difference?" You can actually see the lines in some knives depending on how good of quality they are. If they're handmade, you can see.
Damascus.
Well, Damascus, you'll see the folds, but if it's just a regular steel blade, you can sometimes see the edge. You know how when you see discoloration in steel, it turns like a rainbow color? Sometimes you can see a faint
Yeah,
chalk
that's
line.
depending on if it's carbon or not.
Well, you overheat any steel, it's going to turn a blue, then it's going to turn purple, and then it'll go black. But that has to do with temperature. When you reach a blackish blue, you've overheated a bit of steel, and it's no good. I learned that in machining. That's something
Yep.
to avoid.
This guy, one day, I don't know when, I still need to talk to him again, see if he's not as busy, but I was going to have him on my show. And he says right now, if I go on any show or stuff, that means that's more extra work I'm going to have to do, because he's already busy enough making knives. He's back 2.5 years in awaiting orders to make
Well,
these knives.
then I would just mention that he's not taking any orders at that moment and still have him on.
Yeah, and they're really good knives. local in Ohio too. Here's a cheap one, only $144.
Only 144. Yeah, I don't like the blade shape. It's
Yeah, that one I don't like. I like
I don't know.
probably that one or that one. That one's already sold out.
I like a good drop point. Like the one you were pointing to.
This
like
one?
That one in the middle, yes.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
What's the one all the way over to the right there?
The right? That's a cheap one.
That one. That's the one you just had?
Yeah, that's $144 one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, those are typically stronger points, but drop point is just, it looks better, in my opinion.
Oh, that's a butcher knife.
You think?
Oh man.
That's a chunk. One knife I've always wanted is a Becker BK2. That is a 1/4 inch chunk of steel that is like practically unbreakable. But
that one's not too bad either.
That's an expensive one these days because I think they stopped making it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh wow, they went up in price. Holy shit! A Becker BK2, the newer version, $125. Damn.
Oh. Still cheaper than those ones, but those are all handcrafted ones.
Should have bought one when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like that across the board on everything you want to get.
I get this for $6.
Get what for?
Temu.
I've seen that at Walmart.
Yeah. I've banged on it and it hasn't broke yet, so I'm kind of surprised. You can
there was
show you the spine.
There was a knife that I got at. I'll show
thick.
you it when I do my stream. But there was a knife that I got at Home Depot for like $7 during a Christmas deal. It was like a cheap add-on thing. Pick your item, and I beat that thing. It's like a 1/4 inch thick. It's cheap. AUS 6. It's like the cheapest Chinese steel you can get, but I've beaten on it, and it's still like it refuses to give up. I am surprised. I took that thing into construction in that, and it's
my little knife.
I went through drywall. I went through, studs with that thing. Like it's, I don't know, that AUS 6 steel. That's got something about it. It doesn't keep an edge for shit, but if you want a chunk of steel to go into something soft, that will do it.
And here's my pocket knife.
You stole the display, didn't you? That was the knife that was on top of the knife cabinet, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't steal it. I paid for it.
I was joking, but
I got tons of knives. I got way too many knives.
Says no one ever.
The one I got, well, I've probably got probably 10 in my bug out bag, which is way too much. But the thing is, I bought some really cheap knives that were just that I could actually put on a stick for a spear or something.
Yeah.
And I put a really good edge on them. Now they probably won't hold the edge for very long, but it still be used, and they're good throwing knives. I put my own handles on them and stuff like that. And at the time, I paid $1.60 each for them. And those are the ones that I taught my kids how to sharpen with a whetstone. every one of them had their own and had to learn how to sharpen it.
I can sharpen a knife by hand, no problem. It's when you give me just a rock from nowhere, and I have a hard time dealing with understanding what grit it would be. You understand? Because nature's inconsistencies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Here's one that I've been looking at, and I considered getting it because, again, I can't carry the gun at work, but who knows if I can carry this one.
Reaper. Man.
Hatchet?
Oh, yeah. Come in there like Braveheart.
That shit.
Oh,
if that ain't
man.
a box cutter, I don't know what it is.
Like a Call of Duty special.
Right? No demonstration, damn it.
Hey, Grace.
Man.
Yeah.
John Wick
had a good
edition.
meal.
I don't know. That seems like a good box opener, doesn't it? You know, just keep that on my belt, and you know, oh, it's a box cutter, a 10-inch long box cutter.
It looks really skinny though. The handle.
You gotta remember, I have something that's small to you, Bushcraft, is yeah.
I'm looking at that little thin handle
It's like
there,
a
and I'm like,
tomahawk to him.
I have the saw tomahawk that I could take to work. I mean that.
I've actually got a throwing axe somewhere over there. Let me see if I can find it.
Get you some carpenter squares and file down the edges and.
I got one. You ever see the guy like throw the carpenter square like a ninja? Yeah, he sticks it in the
There's the
board.
guy. Yeah.
Guy, the dude, the man.
This dude just walks in with a holster full of carpenter squares. Like, who is this? Bob the Killer?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
The X on it. This is an actual throwing axe. Oh, I gotta get some oil on it though. It's got some rust on
Nothing.
it.
Some fine grit sandpaper won't take care of it. As long as it ain't pitted. As long as it ain't
got a
pitted.
really sharp edge on it though.
Oh yeah.
That's why it has a little rubber thing to cover it so you don't cut yourself. Nice black handle. Plus, I got a smaller breakdown one in my bug out bag.
So that knife that I just showed was 3 millimeters thick. That's not terrible, but could be thicker.
It's not blood. I've actually stuck a deer in the back of the head with a hatchet before.
Oh, just
wow. It was more of. I actually tried to hit it with a little Subaru.
The car?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a lot of meat. It was a deer, and we were actually going through a field, and I was chasing it down, trying to bump it. You know,
that's illegal.
This was a long time ago.
Okay, fair enough.
It was legal then.
We kind of got stuck in a rut that was in the field, and I got out and happened to have a hatchet close at hand, and went and stuck him right in the back of the head.
So did that kill him, or was
it? Yeah, it dropped plump.
Okay.
We tied him to the top of the Subaru, and took it home, and cut it up and put it in the refrigerator for 3 days.
I mean that's
Well, that's that because normally you let your deer hang you age it for a couple days. If you put it in the refrigerator, it kind of does the same thing. Although my friend's wife was extremely pissed because we, used the bathtub for carving it up and stuff, and then we put it in the refrigerator, which didn't leave room for food.
Oh,
but that's I mean,
well,
that's how
I mean it did leave room for food because the deer was food.
Yeah, but you can't eat it. Well, you can, but you want to let it to age. And that's what we did. If we needed meat or something, we went out and got it. And he knew all the people on these back roads and stuff like that. So you just said, "Oh, I got permission to hunt here" and stuff like that. So it wasn't too far off.
There was a video I just saw on YouTube where these guys were claiming both sides of a river were their land, which on the map it was, but every time somebody go through the river, like kayaking or whatever, fishing or whatever, the guys would flip fucking shit and call the cops. And the cops, like, I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know the legalities about it, but if you could just get out of here. I don't know.
It's like broad. It was a little after lunchtime yesterday, middle of the day. I was going down the old country road, and about 40 yards in front of me, a big old nice sized buck and two does run across the road.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of deer running across the road, I gotta show you this one.
We ended up making, those cheap metal sheds that you can buy.
Yeah.
We put a regular door on the front of that and put insulation on the inside and put a regular AC on it. And then we did there's a little gadget that you can get on it for an AC that basically turns it on to where it never stops getting cold, because they have a thermostat on it. So if it's so cold, it shuts off. But there's ways of rigging it up to where it'll get colder than it's supposed to. So we got it to where that little shed, you go inside that, and it was like 35, 32 degrees, which is perfect for hanging a deer, letting it age, or anything for that matter.
Burying a dead body? What?
No.
That's a
there was no burying involved in it.
That's a military joke that my old buddy used to say. He's like, you ever want to dispose of a dead body real quick? Bury it down head first. I don't know. Oh, where is it? Damn it.
Can't find it.
Well, no, there was a guy that was trying to sell a pickup truck, right? And he was selling it on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And the guy was getting out and just about to look at the truck, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a brand new truck. It has nothing wrong with it." Well, a deer's just sprinting across his yard and smacks into the backside of it and absolutely wrecks the bed. I'm like,
I bet he was pissed.
oh yeah. I mean, the guy just got out of the car.
You ever see that guy in Texas And like the deer whisperer, he just walks out his front door, and there's just like dozens of deer right there.
The guy with the raccoons?
Jimmy Horton, I think his name is. He used to be a fisherman guy. He would do all the fishing and stuff.
Might have, I'm not sure.
He actually has pet deers, big bucks and everything. They come up to his backyard and he feeds them right there. Yeah, him and his wife. He's got a big old lake in the back of his house and everything. Who is? There's a YouTuber. I can't remember. Pretty good size YouTuber. Is related to him. Or is it Houston? Jimmy Houston? I don't know, something like that. Let me see if I can find channel.
Why is it that I can never
find
Arms
Family Home? He's actually related to the guy somehow. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I think it's Jimmy Houston. And they went over to his house and everything because they go over there fishing sometimes. And the deer just come right up to him and stuff.
That's how it was. We went to this place. It's north of Atlanta. I can't remember the name of it. But you could walk through and they had buffalo, all type of different animals, but your deer and the squirrels would just come right up to you, take stuff right out of your hand.
Oh, right.
Chipmunks. Yeah.
It's a good. It is a great channel. It's sad that it is llama died from getting kicked in the ribs by a donkey.
Oof.
Yeah. All of a sudden, well, actually the neck. Yeah, it was in the neck.
People that raise llamas, what exactly do they raise them for?
I guess for pets. You could. I think you can use their hair or whatever, their fleece or whatever they have.
I got you.
But other than that, I don't think there is a use for them other than just being pets. A donkey, I mean, they're good. They're good for security.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen a donkey take out a wolf or a coyote? Oh man, they'll get them and do that shake with their head. And they're strong. Them donkeys are strong.
Oh yeah, imagine if he gets them just right.
Yeah, that's his brother, I do believe. Not Jimmy Houston, but the Cross Timber. I do believe it's his brother or brother-in-law, something like that. No, he's back.
Okay, I just got hit with a DNS.
Do not disturb.
No, that's denial of service.
Yeah.
Huh.
Out of nowhere.
You're in denial.
And it says your wireless connection cable is broken. Well, how can it be wireless if the cable's what? Made no sense to me.
Ain't got no cable in it.
And the ostrich.
What?
Ooh,
What's your-
yeah, they have them
Wow.
them claws or talons on their feet.
Oh, I bet.
Ostriches, oh man, but have you ever had a ostrich meat?
No, I'd try it though, but I haven't.
That's some good stuff.
You do not want to get kicked by one of them fuckers.
Oh,
Or
no.
ostrich egg. I'd like to try it, see what it tasted like.
We had a guy that used to decorate ostrich eggs. They drain them and
Carve
he'd
'em.
clean them up, and then he'd like bedazzle them and cut them apart and make like these little shrines.
Okay, so you can make stuff out of their fur or whatever it is.
Okay. I knew it wasn't eating them. I've never heard anybody roasting a llama.
You probably could, but
Yeah,
you don't.
probably could.
I haven't heard anything. But ostrich is real good. I remember the 90s, that was a big crop, or there was a lot of farms popping up, ostrich farms, because the meat was real expensive at that time.
Every time you say ostrich, I think of like Rudolph with the Island of the Misfit Toys. Nobody
Cowboy.
wants to play with a cowboy that rides an ostrich.
Yeah.
Giant sized poodles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Nobody wants to play with a Charlie in the box. I do that a
Yeah.
little too well.
And that's the thing, when they do that head shake, that's a lot of force on that bite.
Here's Ford's new invention.
Uh-oh.
They just fucked the tailgate even more.
Ford redesigned
Quad fold.
2024 on the F-150. Take a look.
That's nothing new, Andre. All tailgates do that.
Okay. This is called Pro Access, Roman, because if you push this button right there, look at this.
Wait, what's the point of that?
Well, okay, so better access to cargo over here. And look, it has several different opening distances. Like this, if you have a trailer here, you could open it this way, another notch right there, or open it all the way this way.
All right, I'm going to call this not Pro Access, but the tiny tailgate. You like that? I've
There's a
renamed
step.
it, Ford.
What is a little stepper?
Here, I'm going to shut the tiny tailgate, Andre, and enjoy your time.
How am I going to get out?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like that.
Why does it slowly open?
Well, that's called a damper. It's a lift assist. My truck's got that.
Those new tailgates like that are heavy because they got all those electronics and stuff in there.
Yeah, they got a bunch of sensors in them, and
You can't just open it manually, or you have to wait for it to go slow.
Well, now
you can.
Okay.
It's to prevent wear and tear on the hinge. Instead of it just slamming down, it dampens it.
It's a truck.
But my point is, okay, Ford had the step that would step down, and you could step up with the pole and shit. And now they got this, and they're claiming it's Pro Access. Well, you just lost a foot here and a foot here on each side. So how does having a smaller tailgate help you? And when you fully open this door sideways, it's the same distance from when you let this fully down to the very end of that smaller door when it's, yeah.
And what happens when the little latch starts wearing out? and you go to step on that tailgate, and it's a trap door.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like a tailgate. I just drop the dang thing and put my stuff in there, slam it back up, and I'm done. Instead of push a button and wait for it to slowly go down
Well,
or
no,
slowly go back up.
you don't. You can let it down as quick as you want. It's just if you let it's to prevent it from slamming. Okay. It's hard to explain without showing you.
That's what the little things are on the side.
What do you mean? Oh, the little cables?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, I got scissor hinges on mine. Well, not on this one, I don't, but my other truck I had, like the little scissor hinges that would stop it from, and it would help with the weight if you putting some weight on it.
And that kind of a dampening system also helps you lift up the tailgate.
Well, if you wouldn't put all that junk in there, that it wouldn't be heavy.
Well, I don't control what Ford does with their tailgates.
I don't know. I some of the stuff, extra stuff they add in trucks, it just.
I mean, okay, my Nissan's got an assisted tailgate. Sometimes I got shit in my hands, and when I got to lift up a tailgate one-armed, that's kind of difficult for a guy my size.
Oh, I could probably see it for you then.
I'm just saying, like, it's kind of convenient in a way. Here's a
little stepping thing. You know how many ankles are gonna? Well, 101 to get hit in the nuts with it, but
well, here you go. Here's the stepping one. Okay, typical Ford owner, right? Okay, so hold on.
Ford. Truck gang for life.
What is that?
It's the fold down step thing. So yeah, so they literally they took the tailgate of this, cut it down these these points, and just said fuck it and made it into a door in the new one. And
it handled it to get up.
Yeah, it's got a. Now watch this shit. It gets funny.
Yeah, she'll fit.
She'll fit. And he jumps up and like take it up the ass.
But yeah, those style tailgates are heavy because they got all that extra stuff in them.
She'll fit.
Now, does anybody in chat have one of these? How long do they last? That is what I want to know.
What do you mean? How long do they last?
And I got a similar style, dude, and I'm 300 pounds. And I've did all type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
What are you asking? That lasts
how
so
long does those last? Because when he's moving around, it doesn't sound like it's the sturdiest. It sounds like it's just little scrap pieces of metal.
Oh no!
He looked like he was heavier than I am.
Here's another one. Okay, this reminds me of some Battlefield, like Bad Company 2 shit with a guided missile, and you barely miss your enemy tank. Watch. Wait for it. Poof! Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Wait for it. I'm trying to stop it. Oh, there it is. There it is. I couldn't even hit the button quick enough.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if he had to clean his drawers or he's still puckering.
Well, all the people are saying like that's what you call movie armor, where the cameraman never gets hurt.
Yeah. Cameraman always lives.
Right. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh. if that's not a, oh boy.
Yeah, you can see some rounds coming close to you.
Well, you ever be shot at?
I've been. Somebody was shot next to me.
Well, you know what a bullet sounds like when it comes towards you, right?
Oh, it wasn't.
Well, it buzzes.
I still have a scar in my cheek from his skull.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I won't get into the story of it because, yeah, it's not a good one.
How can it be a good one? I'm just saying.
Well, cats are fighting.
Cat fight.
So,
well,
what do you got on the agenda for tonight? 101.
Nothing really. I just, it is what it is. I'm just here until
You winging it?
I start the new job Monday, so I'm probably gonna go back to the old routine of Tuesday, Friday. Unless of course once I become a driver, I could be having some late nights, so who knows how that's gonna be. I have no idea. As far as I know, my schedule's still the 8:30 to 5. And hopefully it stays that way for a while.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Well, no, that's what my schedule always used to be. So
it probably wouldn't be at first, and then they'll sneak a couple,
Well, no, they give you a
5
schedule.
to 9 or something like that, or I mean, 8 to 9.
8 to 9. Oh yeah.
8 in the morning till 9 at night.
It all depends on. He said if you have your route and you finish your route early, then if there's nothing else to do, then you go home. You're fine. If you want to take the rest of the day off, you can. And then other times it's like, well, if you're on call, well, then you could get a call at 2:00 in the morning and you got to go. So it all depends. So I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of freaky.
What's that?
The black line going across the sky.
The what?
Harvest Mary Moon sent me a picture of the moon, and there's a black line underneath of it.
From the night?
What is the Matrix not rendering?
Is it? Did you take it tonight, Harvest? I have noticed though, and I've never been the big chemtrails and all that stuff, but one day last week it looked like somebody's playing checkers up there. There was lines in all different directions. It looked like pickup sticks or something.
Yeah, more and more.
Yeah, it was tonight. Okay. Yeah, that is freaky though.
Well, I'm gonna go do my stuff, and I'll be with y'all in a minute.
10-4.
Yeah, he usually waits until a little after. He's not very good on time management, is he? But thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll be heading over to 101s. I'm not sure if Lake is going to have anything tomorrow for the trivia stuff. And also, I tried to order more seeds, and evidently the 4 seeds that I ordered are back ordered. So I may have to send everybody lemon balm seeds, because that's the most I have the most of. It's lemon balm. So probably if I don't hear anything from the company, then I'll be sending out everybody lemon balm. But lemon balm is the easiest out of all of them to grow. So we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, Vineyard Chicks for Sunday morning, Dig Deeper Ministry at 11, and also again it's 6:00 for Vineyard Chicks for the garden thing. And we'll see you Monday. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We'll catch you over at 101s.